What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we're going to start with Koke SBC. I really like this SBC. You get a mega pack and a prime gold players pack and Koke for very cheap. Now because I'm a little short on coins, I've used some untradables and just some tradables in the club. So we are getting rid of tradable Sergio Asenjo, untradable Samu Castillejo, tradable Mark Bartra, tradable Nacho Fernandez, who played 207 great games for us, but now because we have Rio Ferdinand, we will never need this Nacho card again. Tradable Digne, tradable Facer, tradable Ducouré, tradable Lopez, but 84 rated, very cheap, untradable Payet, tradable Bas Dost, and tradable Olivier Giroud, and they are all going for our mega pack. And then, oh, don't take me to the store yet. Come on, bros. And then Liga Santander side of things, we have got untradable Edison. I've had him for so long, I've only used him for 6 games. I mean, realistically, with Varane, Lloris being French, and Ferdinand, you know, I could even use Pickford now. Varane would still get the links. So, Pickford, red card. I don't know. Edison's a good shout for me. We've then got Malcolm untradable as well. He's done nothing since he's been in our club. Gabriel Paulista untradable. Savic tradable but dirt cheap. The free tradable we packed from the Icon SBC actually, like 2.4k or whatever tradable. Chesney tradable but good to go. William Carvalho we bought for 2.5k. We bought Ilar Mendy for 3k. We bought De Rossi for 1.5k. We've got Gerard Moreno tradable. Is about to go. We paid 8k for Dzeko. So we paid about 15k for this altogether. But I genuinely believe that this is one of the greatest, best, most cost-efficient SBCs EA have done for a long time. Resurrection Koke, according to Futbin, if you started from scratch and had not a single item, it would cost you about 45,000 coins. Now, if you snipe, you can always get it about 10-15% cheaper. So you're looking at about 40,000 coins for a Prime Gold Players pack, a Mega Pack, and an 86 rated player. Scream card, special card, fantastic. We've got Koke. We now have all 3 Scream cards. We have got... No way, I don't have Scream Blind yet. I haven't done that yet. But we've got Koke and Bastian Schweinsteiger. And that is a fantastic card. And his in-game stats are actually very good. Very, very good. Especially with this pace boost. 4-star weak foot, high work rates, great pace, very well-rounded shooting, great passing, very good dribbling. Good stam. This is a solid card. And I'm actually excited to have him in the team. So that is that one done, guys. And that leaves us down at a measly 9.2k coins. Arias there sold for 7.5k. Happy days. But yeah, we are so low on coins. The grind has to begin once again. Lots of bronze pack method to make coins. Selling off items in the club that I've been too lazy to sell because I had a lot of coins. I want to make sure that at least by the time rewards come out and back up over the 100k mark, I think I can get there. And then of course we have 2 packs to open. So we've had some great pack luck. Does it continue? Do we get anything at all? We get no walkout or board from the mega pack. Oh, we do get a board, beg your pardon. That's pretty good. Spanish striker. It's Aderiz. Not bad at all. 83 rated. Didn't have him in the club previously. As a Spanish player, he actually might be worth a little bit because he fits both SBCs. He's not really. He's 1.5k. We get Babel in there. Not worth anything. Wendell, Visa. Is he worth anything? Nah, just all cheap. All cheap. 4 managers in that pack that we're going to get rid of. So they can all go. Hawk Chemstyle is quite nice. Spanish Manager League we'll keep as well. We'll get rid of those. A couple of balls there. Deferel can go up to the trade pile. We'll send that to the club. We'll discard the remaining items. And then a Prime Gold Players pack. Again, how's our luck? Are the FIFA gods with us? No walkout, but that is again a board because that was a long pause right there. Oh, it's not a board. Maybe I got it backwards, but we get an Italian. I mean, it's going to be Asabi. He's not really worth much. That's sad that we didn't really get much out of these packs, but still, it's going to shave some value off the price of what we paid for this. Not the worst thing in the world. You know, that's a pretty terrible pack by anyone's standards. But that, guys, is going to be the end of the SBC section. It's now time to go and play with our squad, with Rio Ferdinand, get some more games. In yesterday's video, you would have seen FUT Champs gameplay without Rio Ferdinand. In today's video, and I kind of also forgot that we could use... Who is better out of Lloris or Pickford? We can use Pickford now. So Pickford has got 2 less diving, 3 less handling, way better kicking, less reflexes. I mean, Lloris is a better goalkeeper. he is a much better goalkeeper. And in height, 6'1". Yeah, Lloris is just a better goalkeeper. I can use Pickford if I want, though. Might be quite nice. But that is the squad, guys. Let's go and get into some action. All right, guys. So as we get into some packs, some sales, and some gameplay, Division 2 gameplay, lots of games today, actually. Some really good games. We've got a lot of comments. First of all, though, guys, thank you so much for being here. You know, honestly, like, it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I've been doing YouTube. I've been a YouTuber since around FIFA 10. I used to upload FIFA 10 World Cup, like the Road to World Cup content. FIFA 11 is when I started taking YouTube a little more seriously. FIFA 12 was when it really became a serious thing. And then by the time FIFA 15 came around, I was a full-time content creator on YouTube. And here we are, about to head into 2019, you know, a couple months away. And I'm still here doing it. In my wildest dreams, I couldn't have imagined this. So thank you guys so much for that. Now, I've got some comments. Henrik Johannesson says, I bet every opponent you up against thinks you have spent thousands of pounds on packs. I can imagine so, dude. You know, my team right now is looking and feeling fantastic. There is no more excuses of missing players here or there, because I've actually got a very, very well-rounded, well-developed squad now. I do have 3 problem positions still. My left back being one of them. And then just 2, like, basically the midfielders. You know, we're going to be playing with Rabiot in the squad here today. After the games in Division 2, I'm not overly keen on Rabiot, if I'm being honest. I wasn't sold on him. I might go back to Martial there, but that's definitely one area that we want to improve on. And then, of course, we want to improve on the CDM. But I'm looking at 3 improvements in the team now, and the cards that I've already got are actually good. They're not great, they're not meta, they're not endgame, and they're not like, you know, if I come up against a quality player with a super team, they are going to suffer. But generally speaking, they are good enough. So, you know, the team is in a really good state right now. I'm really, really happy with it. And that is, you know, in no short part to a few small upgrades over the last few weeks. Picking up, obviously, Rio Ferdinand just recently. Getting Lloris and now that Pickford card that we're using. Getting Juanfran was a big addition to the squad. And also, even though it's only a tiny, tiny upgrade, getting the UCL versions of Mendy and Partey it was just important. It was just big. It's the tiniest upgrade, but it's an upgrade, you know, so it was nice. But yeah, my team does look like a pay-to-win team at this stage. It really does. Mohammed Braze says, hey, Nep, do you think EA should add the duplicate storage back in the game? I'm personally sick of discarding good 84s and 85s that are untradeable because I already have them untradeable. Yeah, I think it would be nice, you know. They added it into the World Cup mode, and I thought that was just kind of like a let's do this and then carry this kind of code over to FIFA 19, and they didn't, and that was surprising to me. I would love a duplicate storage, even if it's only like 20, right? Because even at 20, what you'd be able to do is you'd be able to save enough to the point where you could then judge, okay, I've got, you know, maybe you've got like 10 or 12 80s and 79s and 78s in there untradeable, and then you get a really good tradable card, and you think, okay, let me quickly do a 2-player upgrade pack with these duplicate untradables that aren't really worth much, that I've had saved for a while, that I can't really do much with, and then open the trade pile space up again. So yeah, even if there was just 20 spots on a duplicate storage trade pile, I think that would be amazing. I don't really know why EA aren't doing it. I don't know. I don't have a reasonable explanation as to why they won't add it in. ED Games says, hey Nep, I've watched you for 4 years, not 4. I have watched you 4 years now, and wanted to ask if you make your own thumbnails, as I think they're awesome, and when I scroll through my sub box, I can clearly tell which vids are yours. For my own channel, I find thumbnail making quite hard, so would like to know any tips or advice you can give for making thumbnails. PS, do you use Photoshop? So I have made my own thumbnails in the past, specifically FIFA 12. During FIFA 13, I've had a few other people do it for me. In fact, Bateson used to be one of my thumbnail creators. I had Tex used to, not DH Tex, but another YouTuber called Tex used to make my thumbnails. And then I actually have a thumbnail maker now, a graphic artist in general, called Jack, and he's been doing my thumbnails now since I think FIFA 15, so maybe even FIFA 14. So yeah, basically in FIFA 14 I ran a competition, and well, not really a competition, I asked on Twitter for people to submit their FIFA 15 Ultimate Team card designs, and Jack submitted his card designs to me, and they were just absolutely incredible at the time. They were the best that I'd seen, so I asked him if he wanted to start making my graphics, and he did, And over 4 years later, here we are still, and he's still doing it. So that's fantastic. But yeah, I basically, dude, like, you need to get someone. You even need to figure out a style to do it yourself, and it's not easy. I'm terrible at it personally. Or you just need to like kind of get someone to do it for you, pay them, whether that's through, I don't know, money or shout outs or whatever. I don't know, I don't really know. I pay money obviously for mine, but yeah, I do it myself. Samantha Maguire says, Nep, you said you would open a few 2-player packs every episode. I did, and the reason why I stopped is because the UCL upgrade packs, in my mind I was like, oh, I could upgrade, do a few 2-player packs every episode. But I'd rather save and hold on to those players, use them in UCL upgrade packs or Europa League upgrade packs should we ever get the Europa League content in the game, and do it with those. I think it'd be much more beneficial to the account long term. So that's what we're going to be doing with that. Victor says, this series would have been so much better if you didn't get such amazing pack luck in the beginning. It's so much more fun seeing a person struggle and genuinely try all these low-level players for a while. I get what you mean, because that was my whole sentiment behind the series. It was my whole purpose was I was hoping that I would still be with a really basic team even in November and December and January, and I would actually have to take the whole year to really grind to get my team via packs. Obviously, EA have, specifically with the UCL upgrades, EA have made it ridiculously easy for us to generate good teams and players. But I think even if we took away my best players, if we took away Bale, I still had Mahrez. If we took away Mahrez, I still had Player of the Month Lucas. If we took away Trezeguet, I still had the informed Ben Yedder. If we took away informed Ben Yedder, I've packed players like Vardy and I had Morata. We've got players like Jesse Lingard. Like, we've had, even in terms of the gold players, and if you take away the special cards, we would still have a really good team. Like, I've packed Ederson and Alisson and Hugo Lloris, and we've packed some really good players, some usable, like, not great luck players. I've got Antonio Valencia in the club. I packed Eric Bailly from a draft rewards today that I ended up selling. So I would still have like a really strong like Premier League squad, really, even if it wasn't for the amazing players. So I just don't think it's too hard for anyone in general to generate a good team in this game, whether that's through pack only Road to Glory or whether that's through but like a regular Road to Glory, or whether that's through Draft to Glory, or whatever it may be. It's like player prices are super cheap for the most part, and it's not easy. It's not difficult to get coins, to get cards, to do SBCs. It's just players are really accessible this year, more so than ever before, and I like that. I like that in the game in general. So yeah, what's going to be interesting about this series going forwards is going to be how we make sure that we don't just get trapped in the same team over a long period of time. Like, I know I'm playing with the bulk of the same team for a while now, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to have De Bruyne for 2,000 games. I don't want to have Varane and Ferdinand, I think, are fine like for a long time. But I don't want to have Juan Fran for over 1,000 games. I don't want to have Mahrez, or I don't want to have Gareth Bale, as good as he may be, for all those games. So some people made a valid point with the Aguero that I packed, like, why did I sell him? I could have used him. I thought the coins would have been more valuable for me at that moment in time, and I think I was still right, because it allowed me to do Rio Ferdinand. But what's going to go on is, hopefully, specifically with untradables, with UCL upgrade packs and other SBCs, is we'll start putting together a second team, and we'll start having two strong squads available and next to each other that we can rotate with, or switch out half the team. Like last year there was a cool triangle, the Bayern triangle of Vidal, Boateng and Alaba, and then there was a good Real Madrid triangle with like Ramos, Modric and Carvajal. And it would be nice if we could get a few different pockets of players that we can fit into any team, so we could just change it up and change it around here or there. That would be quite nice. But yeah, I do see your point. And what's crazy is, as I think about what would life on this account have been like if we hadn't have done pack only Road to Glory, and I actually think my team would be far worse, because I would have never spammed so many upgrade packs. I would have never done so many UCO upgrade packs or anything like that, because I would have bought players instead of buying the cards or using the cards to do the upgrade packs. So it would have been a little bit different like that. Bruce and Mirosluv's Adventure Time says, hey Nep, this has nothing to do with FIFA, but could you show us a video of your gaming setup? That would be interesting. Love from Africa, Zimbabwe, Davin. Yes, absolutely. As soon as I move into my new office, which should have been a month ago and will hopefully be this week, then I will give you guys an office tour. It's going to look sick. It's almost finished. Like, the first layer of flooring's been done, the electrics have been done, the lighting's been done, the wall, like, obviously I used to have 2 small rooms up there. It's been knocked through. It's now 1 big room. The like, the desks are on their way. Like, everything's coming into place, and once it is there fully done, I absolutely will we'll do an office tour. Dev CFC says, hey Nep, can you tell me if I should invest in squad fitnesses? You should always invest in squad fitnesses and consumables in general, because they are exactly that. They are consumable. So the benefit of consumables, and the reason why I like to play with consumables more than anything and trade with consumables more than anything, is because they are exactly as they are described. They are consumed. So once they are removed from the market, they are removed forever. So it's not like a player where you can buy a player, use him for 10 games and then sell him. Once you buy a fitness card, you can't use it on your team and then sell it again later on. So consumables, as you can see with me selling contracts here, are always going to be something that sell consistently over time. So it's always smart to invest in consumables. What you've got to do is decide a few things. Number one, you've got to decide which consumables do you invest in. When do you invest in them? And that it comes from a lot of trial and error, understanding what specific consumable sells at for the most. For example, squad fitness cards, they sell for a lot typically on Wednesdays because people are spamming games to get their final rival points in, and then Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays because they are playing FUT champs, so they don't want to be using second teams for fitnesses, for, you know, a fitness team. They don't want to be using individual fitness cards because they take too long to apply. So people just get lazy and then go and buy squad fitness cards. But however, on Mondays, Tuesdays and Thursdays, not only is there a huge supply of fitness cards because of rewards, but there is also no demand for fitness cards because it's the least played days in the entire game. So people aren't really using fitness cards. They'd rather use a fitness team or a second team, or take the time to apply their individual fitness cards. And then for other consumables, there are other days where they work and don't work, and that's for you guys to figure out ultimately. But yeah, investing in squad fitnesses is good, but don't get caught too deep in the hype. The other thing you got to do with when you invest in things like squad fitnesses or consumables in general is how much of your budget do you apply to that? How much do you expect back? For me, I like to make about 30 to 40% per card. So if I buy a fitness card for 1,000 coins, I will try and sell it for 1,300 to 1,400 coins. Now, why I try and do that is because with the consumable market, you can sell lots at a time. So if you've listed up 100 squad fitness cards and 50 of them sell for 300-400 coin profit, you're going to end up making 15 to 20,000 coins profit on that cycle. Now, the difficult part is continually having enough consumables at the low price bought and popping them onto your trade pile and selling them. And if you get too greedy, let's say you're selling 50 a time at 1,200 and you're listing them up 1,100 to 1,200 and you're selling 50 a time there, or 30 a time or 20 a time, and you think, oh, these are selling quite well, let me get a bit greedier and put it up to 1,200 start price and 1,300 a bin. You might go from selling 20 to 30 or even 40 a turn, a trade pile cycle, all the way down to selling just 1 to 3 a trade pile cycle. It happened to me actually, and it got to a point where I stopped trying to sell them and waited for a better sell day, because I picked up a whole bunch of left mid to left wing cards for like 600 to 700, and I was selling loads of them at 1,200. Then the demand for them dropped because the red cards had already been out and nobody was interested in, they'd already set their teams up for the weekend league. People had already applied the left mid to left wing to the likes of the red Martials or the informed Martials that they had picked up, or the Di Marias, and so there was no demand anymore. So I'd gone from selling 15 or 20 left mid to left wings at 1,200 coins a pop every single cycle to selling 1 or 2, to the point where I had to drop them down to 900 coins a pop. And now when I'm buying them at 600, maybe 650, 700, making just 200 coins a card, that's not something that's great for me. Because, even if you sold a whole trade pile full of them, 100 of them, you would only make 20,000 coins per 100. And that's a lot of time invested in purchasing, listing, selling, relisting the cards for just 20,000 coins. But there is so many coins to be made from this game, to the point where Yesterday's stream, as you're watching this video, I'm going to prove to people that you can literally trade with any card in the game. It doesn't matter what card it is, whether it's contracts, fitness cards, players, consumables, training cards, anything. You can trade with any card at any time. You've just got to understand and learn how the market reacts with it, and then apply that knowledge and make your coins. So yeah, there you go. Srikanth says, "Hey Nep, love the new badge. Who do you think will be your endgame team from your current team?" Well, thank you very much, dude. And on that note, by the way, another comment was from Jack Richard, said, "P.S. Why did you change your badge?" Just like to mix it up a little bit. I quite like this badge. It would be better if it didn't have the name of the club on the top and it was just a blue badge, but I quite like the badge. What will my endgame be based off my current team? I don't know. It honestly depends on pack luck over the next few months. Who knows? Maybe we pack a Team of the Year card. Maybe they did what FUT Mobile did last year, and they have Team of the Year select cards, or so maybe let's say how 55 players or whatever it is get nominated for Team of the Year. Maybe all 55 of those cards get cards remember last year we had Path to Glory and then Path to Glory select cards, and only the ones that went to the World Cup started getting upgraded, and the other ones just had the regular Path to Glory cards. Well, maybe we get Team of the Year ones to watches almost, but not quite. So let's say every Team of the Year nominee card gets a +3 upgrade, and then the Team of the Years themselves go and get the massive cards. Something like that, could be massive for the series. Flashback cards could change the series. Icon SBCs and Futmas SBCs. There's so much to come. The red cards, this Team of the Week is shaping up to be amazing. Pogba, Ronaldo, Suarez, Pato, loads of midfielders that and mostly attackers I don't need, but who knows if I get lucky enough and pick up a good red card in my red packs. You don't know, you just don't know. So, I don't know what the team's going to look like. I can only imagine that over the course of the next 3 to 5 months, I will probably put another 2 or 3 icons in the squad. If they're looking to be 1 million coins a turn, I'm generating a lot of coins per week to the point where I can afford 1 icon a month quite comfortably. So especially with the untradeable rewards we get and whatnot. So yeah, I can easily afford 1 icon a month. So as long as the icon is good and will upgrade positions in the team that need upgrading, I'll definitely be putting a few icons extra into the club. And Jack Richards said, "Fair play, mate. You smashed that, pro. You've become such a better player from the start of this series to now. Great work, Nep. Keep it up." And a lot of that comes from me playing higher this year. I'm playing in Division 2 now. We actually get quite close to Division 1 at the end of this episode, only about 100 points away. And you can see that I'm improving. And what that comes down to is when you play against better players, if you can take away the anger and the mental side of getting frustrated at this game and recognize what your opponent is doing to you to perform better than you, you can apply that to your game literally the next game and become a better player. To the point where the first game that I played today on this series, if you go back to about 9th minute, you'll see that guy beat me 5-2. And although the game was quite even in possession and tackles, chances, passing, the reason why he was able to score 5 goals versus me and I was only able to score 2 is because he kept doing a ball roll in between every other action. So he'd do a ball roll, then a skill move, followed by a ball roll and then a pass, or a ball roll and a pass, or a ball roll and the drag back, followed by a ball roll and a pass. And just adding ball rolls, just basically him constantly ball rolling me, gave him so many more options because it just changed the dynamic of where he had the ball. So, it's so easy to read people that do the same thing over and over and over. But when this guy went from a skill move to a ball roll to a pass, to a ball roll to a drag back to a pass, I didn't know what I was going to expect every time he had the ball. So the very next game, I applied ball rolls into my game, more and more, and it opened up so many more goal scoring opportunities to me, to the point where in the 5 games that we played in Division 2, taking that 1 loss first was so big for me because I ended up getting 3 wins and 1 draw out of my next 4 games, and that is in Division 2. I don't know if I'm a Division 2 caliber player, because you know what Division 1 is, right? Division 1 is literally top 100s and pro players. So I'm so close to hitting that level in FUT Rivals that I will be upset with myself if I can't continually hit Elite 3 or better going forwards in FUT Champs, especially now with Ferdinand into the team. But yeah, just just playing people at a higher level more consistently has made me a better player. And on the last note here, we might run a little bit over the scheduled time. Steron says, "Hey Neb, I remember around FIFA 17 you spoke about how you weren't comfortable with skill moves because you had to think about the skill you wanted to do, but in FIFA 12 and so, you just did the skill move as a natural muscle memory. In this video," he's talking about the last video, "it seems like you're back with the skilling. I'm happy to see that you're really trying to improve your game and learning the skill moves so that their muscle memory has made your gameplay more entertaining to watch. Thanks for reading. Peace from Australia." And yeah, thank you so much. And that kind of ties in with what we just talked about. The way you achieve that, because I know the comments in this video are going to be, well, how do I make it muscle memory? The way you achieve it is play better players. Now, because of the reward structure in divisions, it demotivates people to play to a higher level. But if you want to become a better player and get better rewards long term, you're going to have to sacrifice some short term rewards for some long term gain. And that means if you're currently in Division 5 and you could be in Division 3, but you just don't want the rewards, you're just hurting yourself. So go out there, play your best. And one of the biggest takeaways that I can give to people is make sure that in every loss, you learn something. Even if it's about your opponent or about yourself, learn something. Like there was a game here, I was 4-1 up against the guy. He ended up pulling it back to 4-3, and both of his goals came from me rushing my passes because he went high pressure. So I learned in that game that high pressure is something I struggle with. So now the rest of this week, before FUT Champs, I'm going to work on having a game plan to counter people that play high pressure against me, even if that means bringing on Arnautovic, bringing on or keeping on Rabiot, and starting to play, just punting the ball up the field and just trying to hold possession up there and letting the time pass up that end of the field. But yeah, I definitely feel like I'm improving. You know, it's funny. I said this on stream the other day. And I know this is ifs, buts, and maybes, but if I was able to turn just 2 of my losses each week in FUT Champs so far into wins, I would have finished on 23 wins, Elite 3, 23 wins, Elite 3, 25 wins, Elite 2, and 24 wins, Elite 3. So just that's how small the margins are for me right now between being a Gold 1/Elite 3 player versus an Elite 3/Elite 2 player. So I want to improve. I want to get those 2 extra wins. And you don't do that by getting angry and blaming the game. You get that by absorbing knowledge of how people play against you and improving your game. But this, guys, is going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.